All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about Python, and it's just going to be a very simple introduction to Python. So, with Python, before we get to learning Python and making games and doing all these cool things that you probably heard about with Python, we need to know what exactly Python is. So, you probably heard or you already probably know what Python is and you just want to learn it. But for some people who are just watching this video because they've heard of it, but they never really learned anything about programming, well, Python is basically a programming language that you can use for a bunch of things. And you can actually use it not only for like web development, you can make games, you can make computer software, anything, some of these softwares on our computers are also used or made with Python. And so it's a pretty versatile programming language. And so that's why it's one of the most popular languages today. Okay. So, all that aside, let's start talking about how exactly we get started with Python. Well, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to start off with going to python.org. So you're going to go to www.python.org and you'll be landed somewhere on this website. Now, once you're on this website, what you're going to do is you're on this homepage and you're just going to click this downloads button right here. And you're going to see download the latest version for Windows. So here you're going to see download Python 3.9.6, and you're just going to click that button there. And now that you've downloaded it, you should see a little pop-up down in the bottom left corner of your screen or your browser like this. And what you're going to need to do is you're just going to click that. Now, I already have Python installed, so it might show me a few different things here. But what you want to do is you just want to click install now. And it's going to say includes IDLE. We don't know that yet. Pip and documentation. So you guys don't know what this is yet, but you're going to want to add that. And you're also going to want to add Python to the path, just so that your environment variables are all set up properly. Okay. So then it's going to tell you, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Well, since we want to make sure that we're installing Python correctly, we want to say yes. Okay. So that was just like an administration thing, and it's just going to take a little time to install now. And I'll be right back when it finishes downloading. All right, so now it's finished downloading, and now it says setup was successful, new to Python, start with an online tutorial and documentation, but we're just going to show you guys how Python works in this video. So we're going to click close, and now you're going to be wondering, all right, I've installed Python, but where is it? Like, I can't see it anywhere. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to click this start menu, and you're going to have to search up Python. Now, so I already have a bunch of versions of Python installed already, but what you should probably see in your recently added on this top left right here is some Python 3.9 module docs. And more specifically, what you're looking for is this IDLE. You're trying to look for Python IDLE. And what you're going to do is you're going to see this little window pop up called the IDLE shell 3.9.6, or depending on what version you installed. Okay. So now this IDLE basically allows you to run nice little programs and test out little things in Python very quickly. So as you can see, we just have this little window here, and it has these three arrows pointing to the right. So another cool thing that you could do is since we're gonna be using this IDLE shell a lot, what you want to do is you want to right click this, and you want to maybe add it to your desktop or something. So you might want to drag this over to your desktop, and then it'll create a shortcut for you, or you can even pin it to the start like that. All right, cool. So now that we have Python installed, we're going to test out a very simple command and just test whether or not everything works. So let's say, for example, we want to do 3 plus 4. And we know that this should give us 7. So if we click enter, it should give us 7. Pretty cool. So now you can see pretty much that Python is successfully installed. And now we can start filling our brains with Python.